Funk Roberts, welcome to the American Glutton Podcast.
Thank you so much for having me, Ethan. I'm excited to be here, man. Excited to share my knowledge.
Listen, dude, I'm excited to talk to you too. A lot of what I want to talk to you. Listen, it's the end of the year. The new year's coming up. There's going to be a lot of people who, you know, I don't want to say regress towards the end of the year, but I do know that a lot of excess weight tends to be gained right at the end of the year. And then you wake up January 1st and you're like, well, okay, I got to solve this. And like, for me, I'm an older guy. I'm almost 50 years old. And I know that like that January 1st is going to occur for plenty of people in their 50s, 60s, 40s. And a lot of what we see as like the baseline for fitness is being presented to us in like teenagers and 20-year-olds. You know what I mean? Maybe a 30-year-old. And I just think like it's not always fair to say like just do what this guy does who's 25, and at the prime of his conditioning and all of that, to what guys like you and I are going to have to do. It's different, right?
100%. That's the biggest hurdle that I even had. Like I'm 54 now, but when I was 39, and I used to be a professional athlete, so I played professional indoor beach volleyball, highest level. I retired, and so in my 30s, I'm in the corporate world trying to figure out the whole, corporate thing, kids. And then when I reached 39, even though I was still doing some personal training and some boot camps, and because I love fitness and health, but I got to make money in the corporate world, I started to feel different. Like, I remember at the gym, I was at the gym with my workout partner, and he looked at me and he's like, "Hey man, doesn't it piss you off that you are in this gym? You're literally the hardest worker in this gym. You're in here 5 days a week, an hour and a half a day. You're doing all your cardio, and you still look the same." And I looked at myself, and he's like, "Yeah, look at you. You got belly fat. You're buffy." And that of course, I'm going to get defensive at first, but man, that struck a chord. And I realized when I got home that I never really looked at myself in the mirror. Like I was 215 and puffy, but for me, I'm used to being lean, right? I'm 5'11". I'm used to being lean. So 215 and puffy for me, with the belly fat and just me posting videos on YouTube, you know what I mean? And in my tank top, it really struck a nerve. And at that exact same time, the girl that I was living with left me because we weren't having sex. I had no sex drive. So she leaves me, which crushes my manhood. I mask my manhood by going to strip joints and after hours and all of that craziness that you think is going to make you more of a man, but drugs, addiction, all of that happened. And meanwhile, things are getting worse. I'm getting more depressed. I'm getting suicidal at some points because I don't know what's going on. Like I have no clue. And then when I get to the doctor, for my yearly checkup, I go back after we get the blood tests and all those things. Like, hey man, your testosterone levels are like 185. Like that's a grandfather's testosterone level. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm huge. Like, how can I have T levels of 185? He goes, dude, that has nothing to do with it. Like your body. So then he started just going through all the the things that happen when you have low testosterone, like belly fat, your libido's gone, mood changes, all of these things. And right then and there, I realized, oh, so you're telling me that all of the things I'm dealing with are because of my hormones? I was like, yeah, absolutely. So I went down the journey for 6 months of really deep diving into how to naturally increase our testosterone levels, but just what's happening to our bodies at that age. So to say, at the age of 30, our testosterone levels naturally decrease 1 to 2% every single year. So by the time we reach 40 or 50 or 60, we're like, what the hell's going on? Why do I feel different? Why do I don't have any confidence or energy? Plus, we suffer from sarcopenia, which is a natural loss of muscle due to aging. So now every decade we're losing 3 to 8% muscle, and muscle is very important for metabolic processes, our strength. And so those things, plus our metabolism generally slows down, but that's more lifestyle, eating the wrong foods, not working out consistently, all of those things. So now at 40, when we think, oh man, life's over, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. We just have to do things differently. So like you said, like we can't do the 25-year-old workouts because we can't work out bis and tris, back, chest, because we don't recover the same way either. So we can't do that. We need that. So those workouts don't work for us. And we can't eat the same way we used to, right? Before, when we were younger, we'd probably be able to, like, I remember before every single match, and this is as a professional athlete, I used to have filet of fish from McDonald's before those matches. But hey, I'm 20, 21, 22 years old. So it's totally different, right? But sometimes when we have been out of the game for a long time and we come back to the gym on January 1st, it's like, wait a minute, I don't really know what workouts to do. And I don't know what diets to do because there's all these keto and paleo and low carb, low fat, all these diet plans out there, but none of those work for us because they're not geared towards us. They're not geared for our age and the physiological changes that happen. So once you realize, okay, these are the changes that happen, 6 months later from that time, 185 pounds, lean and ripped, and I kept that all the way till now. I had a couple of life scares in between, but knowing that, like understanding, then you're like, oh, okay, totally makes sense. This is the way I'm supposed to work out. I have to actually work more on mobility and yoga and those things because I need to recover and I don't want to get injured and I don't want all that joint pain. So once we start to realize that and understand that, then it makes things a little bit easier when it comes to January 1st. And we're not just like, all right, here we go again. I work with a guy named
for some people, it could be like 20 years since they've gone into the gym and they're like, I'm just going to go back to doing what I was doing all that time ago. You know what I mean? And like, it's a big shock. You don't want to get hurt. Like that's my main focus nowadays is just like, what can I do every day for the rest of my life?
100%. It's about the lifestyle and longevity, right? But here's the thing. Once you find that, right, and you start to consistently do that, now you are not only building muscle, but hey, I'm jumping again. You're not going to be deadlifting 350 pounds. You're not back squats. You're not doing all that stuff, but you're still using dumbbells to deadlift or kettlebells to deadlift. You're still doing, swings or something that's going to keep you powerful because we can't lose that. You're still going to, use body weight or dumbbells or home workouts to consistently keep you consistent, but it's going to be shorter workouts, a little bit more high intensity, but you're going to get it done and you're going to feel good about it as well.
And what did you find helped naturally raise testosterone?
Sure. So there was a few things. So number one would be the type of workouts I did. So instead of doing the old school bodybuilding, stay in the gym for an hour and a half, only hitting one or two body parts, it's total body workouts 3 to 4 times a week for no more than 30 minutes, right? So total body workouts, circuit training. It's metabolic training, but it's circuit training. So I'm going to do, dumbbell chest press for 40 seconds, as many reps as possible, from rest for 20 seconds. From there, I'm going to rack the dumbbells and do squats for 40 seconds, rest. Then I'm going to do bicep curls. You know what I mean? So it's a total body workout, whether it's using, fundamental movements like the hip hinge, the squat, the lunge, the push, the pull, the carry, or body part stuff. But you're doing that 3 times a week. Why? Because you're going to optimize hormone release. You're going to negate cortisol because cortisol, even though we release cortisol, it's a stress hormone, and cortisol is good. We do need cortisol. Like right now, my cortisol levels are probably very high because I'm doing this podcast. We need cortisol in the morning. We need cortisol when we work out, but too much cortisol that stays up here, that kills your testosterone levels, along with belly fat storage and a whole bunch of other health issues. So we want to keep our workouts short, literally 30 to 15 to 30 minutes, but getting a good metabolic workout is key. So that's number one. Number two, nutrition, right? Like nutrition is huge. So for us, we do balanced plate meals. So we make sure that every time we eat, we meaning guys in my membership, but we do. So you have to have a source of protein, healthy fat, starchy complex carb, and fruits or vegetables depending on the meal. And why do we do this? Well, because first and foremost, the healthy fat, which is like avocado or grass-fed butter, olive oil, that has good cholesterol. And cholesterol is the precursor to testosterone production. So when, the whole process happens from the hypothalamus all the way down to the testicles, okay, where's the cholesterol? We need that good cholesterol so we can start testosterone production. Most guys don't eat healthy fats, right? So there is no cholesterol. So T levels are going to be low. Also, we need protein, because protein is the building blocks of our muscles, our bones, all the metabolic processes going on in our body. We need starchy complex carbs, not simple carbs, but complex carbs like, white rice, jasmine rice, quinoa, sweet potato, steel cut oats, because that will help us with our thyroid, which is responsible for metabolism, energy, insulin balance, and muscle growth, along with brain health and all the other stuff. Plus, a lot of the micronutrients that are in these foods also help with testosterone, increasing your testosterone levels. And then, of course, vegetables and fruits have the micronutrients, the vitamins, the minerals, the phytonutrients, all of those things like the boron, selenium, vitamin zinc, vitamin D, vitamin B, all of these things that help with testosterone. So you need that. Then we have to focus on sleep. I mean, that's humongous, right? 7 to 9 hours sleep. And I know there's a lot of guys who come in the program. Hey, man, I'm a night owl. I only get 4. I can work on 4 hours sleep, and I have to help them change that, rewire that. It's like, no, man. This again, the margin of error, guys. Okay, we have a new identity. We were that guy. Now we are 7 to 9 hour sleep guy. That's who you are. You go to bed at the same time, and that's probably the easiest way to do it. Go to bed at the same time every night. Try to wake up at the same time, and focus on using maybe wearables or things that can help you to gauge your sleep. Because again, with sleep, testosterone production happens in the morning, and it happens optimizes when you have that good deep sleep, the REM, the deep sleep. If you're not getting that sleep, even if you're sleeping for 6 or 7 hours, you're not going to get that testosterone production. So sleep is key. Plus, there's so many other, benefits from sleep. And then we have stress, managing stress, again, gratitude journaling, meditation, breathing exercises, a lot of the things that you would think before would be like, oh, look at these, that's woo-woo stuff. It's like, no, man, this is what's going to keep our stress levels. I mean, there's so much stress in the world right now. A, B, I'm sure around, work, at home, kids, what have you, there's stress always around us. So we need to learn how to manage that, because as I mentioned before, cortisol, right? Cortisol is a stress hormone. So we want to make sure that we keep that down. And also we want to stay away from estrogenic foods and estrogen as much as possible, because estrogen is the female hormone. And yes, we need estrogen, because estrogen helps us with our sex, our sex drive and a healthy sex life. But with too much estrogen kills testosterone. That's where you get the belly fat and the man boobs, and just the, you feel more like the hormones are messed up. That's basically how I can say it. So we want to stay away from those foods. So it's a bunch of things that you incorporate into your life to help naturally increase testosterone, because we do it naturally. We don't use any.
And I think stress is such a big component, but I also think that, like, if you put all those other factors that you mentioned into place, and you were adhering really well to those, your stress level is probably going to be a lot easier to deal with. Like, stuff comes up. I know the difference for me, if I've eaten poorly and got a bad night's sleep, with any kind of crisis, small or large, that comes up, it just gets magnified if any of that stuff is out. Or, even if I miss the gym that day and then something comes up, the stress gets compounded by all those other factors. And the food piece, it's so weird. Everything you said, it's like super rational. It's like what you could probably ask anybody who's ever been on a diet, what are healthy food, quote unquote, healthy foods. And I don't love to moralize food, but like, I will not eat fast food. Like, that's just a no-go for me. If I'm caught in an airport for 12 hours and I'm really, really hungry, I might try to find a salad at one, you know what I mean? But I'm not eating. That's just like not a part of my life. And it is a part of so many people's life, like the prevalence of garbage junk food in America, which I would think of as, like, if it's even on the table at all, it's going to be like once a year, literally. You know what I mean? Like, for me, pizza is I don't love the idea of cheat meals, but like, I'm not going to say never again to pizza. I really like pizza, but it will be once a year, like, that's how rare it is. And then I get a little crazy because I've found this gluten-free pizza, which I don't think it's actually healthier for you, but like, and that became my favorite pizza in Los Angeles. So like I'll think about that when I'm like deep into cutting or something like that. I'll be thinking about fucking gluten-free pizza, like what's wrong with me? But it took a long time of like abstinence from that kind of food to get to the place where I feel even safe going and having a slice of pizza. It's just everywhere. It's a hard thing to get people off of, I think.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head, man. Like the fact that you don't compromise to fast food is huge, because it's like you changed your value, whatever that value was before. You literally transformed that value. Like, no, that's not even happening. And even if I do have a guilt-free meal, because we don't do cheat day, like a guilt-free meal, because guilt-free means, okay, listen, I've done everything. It's only 2 to 3 guilt-free meals per month. One of those guilt-free meals is I just have it in my back pocket just in case I get caught.
Yeah.
But I do want to take my wife out, and if we do want to have something, it's great. But that other one guilt-free meal, even that guilt-free meal, you're still thinking about gluten-free and still thinking about, okay, because I
Oh
know that if I
man.
eat this, I'm gonna feel horrible after. So I
Right.
want to keep it a little bit, 100%. And I love that. And yes, when guys start eating and feeling better, you know what I mean? Like, the other thing too is, at our age, in our 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, like, there's going to be uh, a lot more crazy, not crazy, that's not the word I'm looking for, but a lot of things that happen to us, like people around us are going to start dying more and more. If you retire, your kids are moving out of the house, things at work. Like, there's going to be a lot more that we need to stand up and be healthy for that, right? Like, we don't want to be, in the hospital having our family visiting us, and we're in our 40s or 50s or even our 60s, and now we're draining our family when we're supposed to be there to provide, protect, and to procreate. So we have a responsibility to keep ourselves healthy, so that as the patriarchs, because we just automatically become the patriarchs. I tell my guys all the time, listen, you're going to become the patriarch of your family, whether you want to be or not, just because you are going to start to become the elder man in your family. So you have to be on point. And if you don't have sleep and you just ate crappy, or missed a workout, and then something drastic happens, you're not going to be there to focus, right? You're not going to be there to go, okay, hold on. Let me just not make decisions on my emotions right now. Let me just, okay, keep calm. Everyone's going crazy around you, but don't worry, I got this. Okay, no worries. Okay, yeah. Yes, okay, yeah, you can cry here. Like, that's who you want to be. And you cannot 2 hours sleep and Kentucky Fried Chicken the night before. It's over.
It's over.
It's over.
You're a
You're like,
wreck.
what?
Yeah. You're the
You're
one
like,
freaking out. Absolutely.
totally. Yeah.
Yeah. When you have guys come in, like a day one guy who
Mm.
needs a big change, what's the hardest thing to implement for that typically?
So I need to I need to make the program as easy as possible, because yes, day one, someone coming in, and like, if I just gave them a PDF with, okay, here are the exercises, and here, this is what I want you to do, they're going to be like, well, I don't know what the hell this is. And like, you know what I mean? So I have follow along workouts. I'm in the workouts, working out with them, like already pre-recorded, of course, but I'm there working out with them. I'm coaching them. So all they need to do is get the workout done. That's it. So that first step of getting through the first workout, which usually for the first guy is very difficult, that's number one. But that they already got that. So the biggest thing would be the nutrition piece. But a lot of the times they can't believe it's that simple. They're like, so wait a minute, you're just telling me that, wait. So you're saying that all I have to do is just, put these things on my plate? Yeah, 3 times a day. Just make sure you have a source of each one on your plate. But wait a minute. How many calories? Hey, dude, we don't count calories here. Well, how much should I weigh? We don't weigh our foods. Just all I want you to do is just get those on your plate, because if you can get those on your plate first, it'll start to negate all that other food. So that's that. The second thing would be the yoga and the mobility, because on day number 2, I mean, because we implement mobility and yoga twice a week, and we work out 3 to 4 times a week, because I have to make sure these guys don't get injured. So the first biggest hurdle would be the nutrition piece, and figuring out, okay, is it really, that's all I have to do? And can I eat carbs? I heard I'm not supposed to eat carbs. So trying to get that out of their brain. And the second thing is getting them to do the mobility, because they don't realize that, it's about sustainability. It's a marathon, right? And you don't have to work out every single excuse me, every single day. But the good thing about it is the community portion of it, right? We have our over 40 Alpha Brotherhood and tribe. So when the guy comes in, takes, posts his picture, his before picture, you have so much support, right? So many guys going, hey, no worries, like, and even if someone's in phase 24 or 12 or 13, if he posts them, man, that first workout was really, really hard, man. You're not going to get guys going, suck it up, get it done. It's more like, hey, don't worry. I remember that workout. It's going to get better. So a lot of that helps with day one for that guy, right? Day one is tough. And the day one workout, every single time, so man, that was tough. Or hey, how do I get my cardio better? I can barely breathe at the, in the rest periods. I go, don't worry, that's exactly what's supposed to happen. Like you will have a hard time, but you're not going to be here 3 months from now. 3 months from now, you're going to be a totally different person. A month from now, you're going to be totally different.
Yeah.
And so
if you are still there, you'll be using heavier weights, doing more reps. Something will increase.
Totally. And that's huge, because you see it all the time. It's like, man, I remember, because they do the same workouts for 4 weeks, right? It's a phase. So by the fourth week, they know, oh yeah, I remember week 1, I could only do 6 push-ups during this interval, and now I can do 12 push-ups during this interval. So I know I'm getting stronger. I may not see it specifically in the mirror yet, but I know I'm getting stronger. So it's just ensuring that, it's not easy to find programs for our guys our age that are like laid out, or maybe getting a trainer or somebody who can lay things out for you, make it easy, and help you stay consistent. But the support is huge. The brotherhood is so huge, in helping guys stay accountable.
I love the idea too of implementing yoga or some kind of movement, because I know I've done yoga. Yoga's more my wife's thing, but when I go to do it, yoga kicks my ass. So it's like it's a legit workout. I'm out of breath most of the time. I'm dripping sweat. Like something's happening. You know what I mean? And then there's the other aspect too, where like after you've worked out one day, I've gone with a lot of people and taken them to the gym, and then the next day they're like, no, I'm not coming back to the gym. I can't move, my legs hurt. And I'm like, okay, well, honestly, the best thing to do is move. Don't sit still. Like you got to do something. And yoga sounds like a good thing to do. Like I've never actually used it for DOMs or for that kind of muscle soreness, but I bet it would be awesome to relieve some of that lactic acid.
Yeah, I mean, it's the movement, right? Like you're moving every day, right? We have one rest day, which is Sunday, but the rest of the week there's got to be, it's mostly mobility, yoga, Pilates, whatever it is. But you're right, the yoga is most of the times the hardest thing, because it's very humbling for a guy who's never done yoga before. Because remember, I'm dealing with 40, 50, 60, 70-year-old guys, and I'm giving you a metabolic workout, and now I'm telling you to do yoga, right?
Dude, but I go in there, and there's dudes with a lot more body fat on them than me hitting these positions where I'm like, how the fuck? I don't ever want to go, but I'm humiliated every time I go to yoga. And then it becomes this thing of like, well, the humiliation's part of it.
Yeah, totally. Because it's a growth. Because you know that, listen, okay, today this is where I'm at. And I used to go to yoga. I used to go to a yoga class here before I implemented in the program. I used to go to one of the gym, and I used to go to the back all the time, right? And because I'm muscular and they know me as Funk Roberts, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, okay, guys, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to struggle, and this is it. And I'm okay with the struggle. I'm totally okay with it, because but I said, I want you to remember this day, because a month from now or 2 months from now, when they see me hitting the warrior pose, it's like, damn, I remember when you couldn't even get your shoulders out, let alone hit the warrior pose, right? So I understanding that we're not going to be where we're at, right? At that time. The more we do it, we're going to get strong. Like I say it's impossible not to get stronger, not to, increase your, balance your hormones, get healthier, all of these things, more mobile, if you consistently do it. Like you will see the change. It may take longer for some people than others, but you will see this change when you stay consistent and make it a lifestyle.
Yeah. And another thing that struck me too was I really like that you're not starting guys off with like measure your food, weigh your food, calculate calories. I think that that's another big thing that happens, like a January 1st thing where people are like, okay, I'm doing this hardcore diet. Like I found like I've tried every ridiculously hard thing that you can do, 600 calories a day for 2 months and you lose a bunch of weight, then you gain the weight back, or keto for 2 years and I hit a plateau that's not breaking unless I'm kind of starving myself. And then it's like, well, why not just do a low calorie diet? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
all of these things. But I found that like I wound up taking little bits and pieces, right? And clobbering together a lifestyle that is a long-term thing where I'm in the gym every day. I'm eating very much how you talked about it. I don't eat butter really, but I do try to have some
Breastman.
chia seeds or avocado, or if I'm having fish, I consider that my healthy fat, or you know what I mean? With every meal, because I also found I had a cholesterol imbalance where I'd been low fat for so long that I did a
Yes.
blood test and the guy was like, you have your cholesterol is wacky. Like, and I'm like, I don't eat
Yeah.
any fat. I eat no fat. Like, what are you talking about? Like, the fat I eat is from chicken breast without skin. How could I have wacky cholesterol? And he was like, well, you do. So
Yeah.
then it became like, fuck, I got to eat more fish. I got to eat more avocados,
Yeah.
So I've actually wound up in a thing similar to you, but it took me fucking 20 years
Yeah.
to start guys off going
Yeah.
like, just make sure you eat this kind of food 3 times a day. That's a
Yeah.
great way to start. And I think for like a January 1st type of a deal where it's like, I want to have this big radical change, a lot of those radical changes, you're not still doing them in February. You know what I
No way.
mean?
It's too difficult, and it's like the zero to hero. Like, I'll have guys come in to my program who are vegans, right, or vegetarians, and that doesn't align with like testosterone, because my program is based on like obviously fat loss and transformation, but testosterone, hormone balance, and metabolism, all those things. So when they come in, I ask them about them being a vegetarian or vegan, and they're kind of like, oh, well, I see that your program doesn't really talk about that. I'm like, yeah, I know, because that's not how my program works. So but then I ask them, why did you become a vegetarian? And then they have to think about it, like, and then I have to prod, was it because you were eating so unhealthy, or you had something happen that you went from zero, like from one extreme to another extreme? So you're eating horribly, and obviously something may have happened, gut problems, or cholesterol, whatever it is, and then all of a sudden you went to this vegan or vegetarian. Of course you're going to feel great for a bit when you go from zero to hero, but it's not sustainable at the time, because a lot of the guys who come in who are vegetarians are finding problems with the nutrition as well, because their testosterone levels are all out of whack, or they can't build muscle, or whatever it is. But once they understand that, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, that is what happened. Actually, my wife told me to get on this vegan diet. I never stopped. And so the zero to hero thing is setting yourself up for sabotage, right? Like you said, like, okay, I've been eating crazy in December. Now I'm going to do, this insane, 30-day, whatever, to shred. And, the first couple weeks, the first week you're excited, the next week you're still a little bit excited, but then life starts to hit you, right? And 30-day shred is extremely difficult. You got to be on top of everything. And when life happens, 30-day shred's the first thing that's going to go.
Yeah. By the
100%.
way, anybody who's in shape enough to get actually shredded in 30 days, like they could just take their time and be shredded in 90 days and it wouldn't be so
100%.
miserable. Like I don't know. None of the people who I ever talked to who are like, I want to lose weight, could get shredded in 30 days, no matter what they did. You give them all the steroids in the world and give them the hardest workout program and all of it. They're not getting shredded in 30 days. They could lose a bunch of weight, but they're not
Yeah.
getting shredded. I'm not getting shredded in 30 days. That's a
I'm
long,
not.
that's a very short time frame. So I think for most of those things too, you have guys who are going into it going like, I'm going to get shredded in 30 days. And it's like, you do it for 30 days. You're probably not even happy with the results because you're not actually shredded. You don't have an 8-pack. You don't have, a vascular abdomen. And then it's like, well, I just killed myself for 30 days. I'm going back to life as I knew it before.
Right. And that's the other thing too, because the mindset's like, okay, well, I'm killing myself for 30 days, so I deserve or
Right.
maybe go back to, and then next thing you know, you're right back to where you were in March. Now it's
Yeah.
March and you're like, oh man, I got to go to Daytona Beach. I can't even believe I said Daytona Beach, but anyway, Daytona Beach. Because
Sure.
back in the day, we used to go to Daytona Beach.
Yeah. It was really popular when we were
I
kids,
know,
wasn't it? Yeah.
totally. So it's like, if you just adopt, okay, this year, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to do this consistently, and I'm going to make it a lifestyle. You know what I mean? My nutrition, my workout, so I can stay consistent. My sleep. I'm going to do whatever I can to help, set up a great sleep environment and track my sleep. My mindset and just really focusing on gratitude and meditation and the things that everyone who's successful, whether it's in health and fitness or in business, will tell you that that's a key component to keeping you, grounded and focused and keeping the stress at bay, focusing on recovery and mobility, because as we get older, our joints, we don't want to be waking up in pain, back pain, knee pain, elbow pain, and those things will happen when you're working out and not doing the other stuff, because you're working out, but you're not recovering. And then the next day you go and you have DOMS or you're tight, and then you do lunge and you're like, oh my God, why is my knee hurting with the lunge? Well, your knee's hurting with the lunge, not because of the knee and the lunge, it's because your hips are tight or your ankles are not, you don't have mobility in your ankles, or like a lot of the elbow or knee or what have you is not actually the elbow or the knee, it's the joints around the elbow and the knee, but that gets sorted out on the mobility side. Don't have to be yoga, guys, could be mobility or what have you. But when you have that, you feel like you have power over your entire health. But it all starts with the mindset, right? Like you have to set yourself up with a strong why. And that's the first thing we have the guys do when they come in. They have to have a strong why, because as you mentioned, January 1st comes and everyone flocks to a workout or a diet or mobility or yoga classes, and they just go towards that. But that's the number one reason why most people fail or stop when it comes to those things, is because they haven't set up a strong enough why to get them through the times when Brenda comes into the boardroom with pizza or donuts, right? Okay, guys, I got donuts. And then you're there and everyone's taking it. It's like, oh, I didn't eat this morning. Okay, all right, I'll have a donut. Okay, Brenda, I'll have one. And then you're eating it. It's like, Jesus, what the hell? Brenda's got power over me. I don't want Brenda to have power over me. But if you had a strong enough why, you went down, you asked, okay, why are you doing this new health plan? It's the why, I want to lose 30 pounds. Okay, well, you got to go deeper than that. Why do you want to lose 30 pounds? Well, I want to lose 30 pounds because, when I play with my kids, I can barely breathe and keep up with them. And I find myself, them poking at my stomach and I feel really embarrassed. Okay, let's go a little bit deeper than that. Oh yeah. Also, my family has, heart disease in the family, and I want to make sure that I'm there for my kids. Okay, now we're talking. Now we're getting deep. Now we're crying now, right? The why supposed to should make you cry, because it needs to be an anchor that when Brenda comes in, you're going to be like, Brenda, thank you very much. I had breakfast. I'm all good. But Funk, you always have my donuts. Brenda, I'm sorry. I'm good. Listen, your donuts are great, but I'm good. And now you have that anchor to get you through those times, or days when you are so tired, you don't feel like working out, but you should work out. Like, you need that why, because that's going to get you through those tough times, specifically at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I think the whole universe of this, of transformations, of anything physical goals, it's so hard because there's a lot of people where you're saying like, and I agree with everything you're saying. This is what I've found to be true. I've went from 536 pounds, took me a long time to lose weight. I finally got to a place where I've maintained my weight for 5 years. That's never in my entire life. I've never had that happen. So, the one time I think I maintained my weight for like close to a year, 10 years ago, I was doing like 8 hours of cardio a day and starving myself. And so
Right.
this has been like the greatest 5 years where I'm eating lots of food. I'm working out for under an hour a day, basically about an hour a day. I'm also doing some cardio, but nothing crazy. And like, I'm happy. I feel better than I've ever felt. Like, it's great. But the difference between my complete overhaul to my life and what you're talking about, to a guy who is saying you just have to change one thing. If you stop eating bread, you'll get there. Or if you don't eat lectins, you'll get there. Or you can get there in 30 days. Or, you know what I mean? The kind of get rich quick schemes that are out there that are, I mean, it's hard because like changing your entire life is a big deal. I don't think even when people are like at their rock bottom and saying, I'll do anything, because you got people who are like, I'll do anything, I'll do
Mhm.
anything. There isn't real thought to like, I'll do anything, but I'll do it forever. Like what I'm saying
Mhm.
I'll do is kind of a forever game. You know what I mean? Like the way you're talking about this, you're not done in 6 months and going back to eating ice cream and cheeseburgers. It's a kind of a forever thing. And I love what you said too about the free pass in your back pocket. For me, there was a time in my life, I think when I read Tim Ferriss's book close to 20 years ago or 15 years ago, where he talked about a cheat day, like Sunday or Saturday was a cheat day. And I was like,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, I'm going to do this. I never lost any weight because I
No.
could eat 12,000 calories that day because it was a cheat day. And then when I wasn't losing weight, I read it again and he was like, okay, if it's too much, have a cheat meal. I'd eat 6,000 calories in that cheat meal. You know what I mean? I'd eat until I was sick.
Mm.
And so like that for me today, that free pass, that like I'm going to let my hair down a little bit is literally I'm going to eat a fattier steak. I might
Yeah.
I might I might not tell them to put the sauce on the side of the salad. I might just have the salad as it comes. You know what I mean? I might not worry that the Brussels sprouts are have some honey in them. Like that's my cheat meal. But on every other day, I'm saying steam my fish. I want the leanest piece of beef you can make me. I don't want any sauce on my veggies. Give me olive oil and lemon for my salad. Like that's, you know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
kind of how I live my life. And I'm happy. I don't feel deprived. I don't drive by McDonald's going like, I'm the sucker who can't eat that. That's the, you know what I mean? I'm kind of thinking about it. You know, every now and again, I'll see a guy smoking a cigarette and feel envious that
Yeah.
he's smoking a cigarette and I'm not. But like, not for real. It's not like I want to go buy a pack of cigarettes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're just remembering the time. That's all.
Yeah, smoking cigarettes when I was a teenager was a hell of a lot of fun. I don't actually want to smoke.
Right, right. Exactly. No, you hit it on the head. And no, everybody who comes who I work with anyway, they they don't come in thinking it's going to be a lifelong journey. But I have like lifers, like we, 18,000 guys in the program. Most guys are now finishing phase 36, which is 3 years.
Wow.
But the reason why is because they don't identify as who they were before. When
Right.
they come in, you're an over 40 alpha, and this is what over 40 alphas do. This is how we eat. This is how we, work out. This is how we treat our family. Like we have different values that dissociate from the person that they came in as. So now it's a new identity that they can latch onto, and it's not their fault that they failed or had struggled, right? Because now you have something that's geared towards you. But I'm always surprised at the fact that when they come in at first, like, I know 100% that when they're after phase 6, their next thing they're going to ask me is, I want to get that 6-pack. I'm really close. I want to get that 6-pack. But when they first come in, they're not even thinking about that, right? They're
Right.
just thinking about the immediate thing. I already know that that's going to happen, but they don't think that way. And then after the first milestone, they're like, okay, this is getting better. Then literally phase 6, okay, fine. What do I do to get, I just want to see the 6-pack. It's like a total difference and the mindset's different. And then with the guilt-free meals, at the beginning, of course, people implement the guilt-free meal specifically in the second phase. But exactly what you said, the amount of people in the later phases or, have been here for a long time, they don't have guilt-free meals. Like they literally don't have them. They're just like, yeah, you
Well,
know
and it,
what?
it
It's not worth
becomes
it.
something else, right? Like for me,
Yeah.
a
Yes.
guilt-free meal for me 10 years ago was pizza, ice cream, French fries. It was everything I could get my hands on, and I'm eating all of it. And
Yeah.
today it really is like I'm gonna have the sauce on my
Yeah.
fish. Like that's a
Yeah.
guilt. That will be a very occasional thing that happens, and that's my guilt-free meal. It's never McDonald's, never.
No, no,
It's
no, they
not
don't.
ordering pizza. That's a once a year thing, and I'm very cautious
I'm
when
good
I
with
do
it.
that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or they'll post their guilt-free meal, and it's not like you said, it's not really a guilt. I'm like, dude, that's not a guilt-free meal. It's a
Right,
regular. Yeah, of
exactly.
course, you have sweet potato fries, man. Like, hey, not guilt-free, but okay. If in your head, if it is, we're good with it, right? Like,
Yeah.
because we don't judge either. Like, you okay, that you do you.
Right,
Everyone's
but
different.
it takes a while to get there, right? Like you're
Yes, it
talking
does.
about.
It does. Yeah, it does. It does take a while. So the first thing is the 1 year to alpha, and it's kind of like whenever the guys, we call them alpha OGs, they become an OG after they do the 1 year to alpha, and it's like I always say to them, like, dude, like I want you to think about this. You are whatever age, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. You just did 1 year of a program of workouts, nutrition, recovery for 1 year. Like no one does that. You know what I mean? Like not even athletes because they have time off. Like, and when they think about that achievement, it's incredible, specifically from when they come in. Because when guys come to my program, they're not coming in shredded or the people that go to the gym. They're perceived rock bottom. Like they're like, okay, I need help. I don't know what to do. I'm ready to go. Let's do this. And guys pile on and help them through. But yeah, it's incredible to see the transformation. And I'm telling you, like once you embrace that this is going to be a lifestyle and it's a marathon and not everything's going to happen in 30 days or 60 days, then things happen faster than you expect. But
Yeah.
when you're setting yourself up to like, okay, this is going to be, let's just work this year. This is what I'm going to be doing, right? This is going to eat this way. I'm going to work out this way and all these things. And the next thing you know, your body starts to transform. Your energy levels are better. You can keep up with your kids. And then you start to think, oh, wow, I remember a day when I would like, if the elevator, like somebody just posted the other day, it's like, yeah, I remember the days that like my elevator didn't work. And I remember the days that if my elevator didn't work, I'd be swearing. Today, I just hit the stairs. I didn't even think twice. I got upstairs. I'm like, wait a minute, I just took the stairs. Like they don't even think twice. It's like, oh, the elevator's
Yeah.
okay, solution, because we're a solution based, right? Oh, solution, stairs. It's like everything starts to change. It's incredible.
Yeah, that's awesome. It sounds like such a great program, man. And I think that you know, kind of getting into it that way, like starting off the gradient approach for me is so helpful because you can get really overwhelmed. You know what I mean?
Yes, totally.
I've vacillated between I only want to change one thing, and that would be like, okay, I'll just not eat carbs. That's one thing I can do. To I'm changing absolutely everything overnight, and that would also be kind of too much too. So like,
Right.
If I had thought 10 years ago, like my cheat quote unquote cheat meal is going to be fucking Brussels sprouts that I don't ask them to, to not put any sauce on. Right. And I'm not talking about like creamed Brussels sprouts or
No,
candied Brussels sprouts, just like
regular.
whatever they boil them and throw some sauce on them. And normally I don't get the sauce, but like now I'm gonna go like, no, I'm not thinking about it tonight. I'm having the sauce. Like I don't recognize who I was back then. You know what I mean? Because I don't even really like vegetables. That's another thing. Like I'm glad your program includes fiber because that was kind of a hard transition for me. And at first it was almost taking them like, this is a supplement. I just have to get it down. And now I like
Yeah.
them, you know?
Totally. It's yeah, you're right about it's very overwhelming. And here's the thing, like people villainize, I don't want to say the word villainize, so you may not tell me the word, but like, people other like the fitness experts, the influencers, they kind of villainize people thinking like, well, it's easy. All you have to do is not eat sugar and not eat this and just go to the gym. Nah, man, it's not just go to the gym and not just not eat sugar, because in truth, if you haven't been doing that for 10 years or 15 years, and now with social media, there's millions of people coming at you with this diet and that diet and this workout and that workout, and your friends are telling you things, and then you listen to Joe Rogan and he's telling you things because Joe's extreme, but so it's like you're getting all of this stuff, and then of course you're not going to know what to do. Like when they come in, I totally understand it. These guys don't know literally they don't know that testosterone is responsible for helping them with the weight loss and, you know, energy and all that stuff, because it's just not out there. They don't know that the type of workouts that they should be doing. Like they just don't know. And they don't know the type of foods they should eat and what to stay away from. They hear certain things. Oh, I heard carbs are really bad, and how come your program is this? I'm like, well, dude, this is why. And then when they have the information and the knowledge of why, then, so for those listening, understand why you're eating certain foods and why, what they do to your body, and why you stay away from certain foods. You know, when you start to have that understanding, then you're like, oh, okay, that totally makes sense. Okay, now you have more power over that kind of stuff. And, you know, now you feel a little bit more confident, because if you show up at the gym on January 1st and you haven't been in the gym in 10 years, and you get in there and you're all, you know, you got your headband on and you know, your wristbands on, socks pulled up, and you walk in and you look around, and then you're just like, oh man, okay, well, okay, maybe, okay, I know the dumbbells, so I'm just gonna just do some bicep curls. Hey man, how you doing? You know, do some bicep curls, and then you just put them down and you kind of look around, and, you know, you're lost. Literally, I've seen it in the local gym. It's like zombies walking around, you know. Okay, I know I can sit in this chair and do these but there's no programming and there's just no understanding. And that's not their fault, because if you've been out of the game, how the hell are you going to know what to do when you have millions of things coming down your feet? So, you know, that's why getting a trainer or somebody who understands men over 40, like a trainer that knows what's going on with you as a man when January 1st comes, gives you that momentum, right? And ask questions. Why are we doing this? What is this going to do for me? Okay, like for me with my mobility and my lower back, I go to my physio guy. And when I go to my physio guy, I check my ego at home. Because when I go there, I love him, because he just, okay, what am I doing? You just tell me what I need to do. I don't even, okay, this, and he explains, this is why we're doing this. This is what's going to happen. This is going to help you with this. Like, that's the type of person you want, because they're educating you. You have that understanding, and now you're empowering yourself for the gym the next time you go without the headband and the wristbands. And now, you know, okay, this is my metabolic workout I'm going to do, circuit training, you know, with a couple of dumbbells. That's it.
No, I love that too, because I find like for me, very specific goals always were catastrophically, counterintuitively failures for me. Like, I want to lose 100 pounds. Well, what happens on day one of having lost 100 pounds? I'm now gaining. I'm going to regain that 100 pounds.
Right.
I want to wear size 36 jeans. Okay, well, I can fit in those for a month, and then I go back to 38, and then eventually to 48. And like, it's that kind of thing. Like what you're talking about, and kind of the way I live my life, which I think has worked the best for me, is today I'm improving. Because that can be my goal every single day. Every single day I can improve. And even Sunday when I don't work out, I'm improving because I'm recovering. So like, that's the kind of thing where I'm like, January 1st, I will be improving. But guess what? December 31st, I will also be improving. I will be improving on the 2nd. I will be improving every day all year long, because that's a goal that I can have every single day, and I can accomplish it every single day.
100%, 1% better every day. That's it. It's like these specific goals. And again, when I talk like this, I'm only going by the proof that I see on a daily basis, right? Like I'm, you know, I have to go through my stuff, but now I see it on a daily basis. So I see the mindset change. I see exactly what you said. Okay, 1% better. Maybe, you know, January 1st, because I've been doing this program, I'm going to start to learn how to use kettlebells now. So now you have a whole new, you know what I mean? Because you've built up, your focus wasn't about losing 30 pounds. It was about implementing a healthy lifestyle, being consistent, being 1% better or better every day. And next thing you know, you're stronger, you look better, you know, you feel better, you have more energy, you're going hiking, and now, like, you know what? I want to learn how to use kettlebells. And now you've got a new, you know, thing to tackle. And that's what it's about as we get in our 40s and our 50s, our 60s, our 70s, retirement. You know, I want to live till I'm 99 years old, and not 99 in a wheelchair like my grandmother, 99 doing, you know, burpees and playing with my great grandchildren. I want to see Cassian's children's children. like the
Yeah.
customer son. I want to be around for that, like, but healthy, not, and so if I think about that now and live my life now to set myself up for 99, then that's the long-term goal. But you know that you have to do everything to get you there, right? Because
Yeah.
that margin slowly starts to move like this, right?
Yeah.
Where you really have to be focused and consistent, but we're creating a lifestyle, right? And when you create a lifestyle, like you said, you don't know any better. Like these are my guilt-free meals. I mean, this is what I do. Like, I don't know any better. Like, that's it, right? Like, oh yeah, the fast food, that's like, I don't even, that's not even, that
Yeah.
word, that doesn't even phase me. That's not even in my whatever, right? But that's just because it's your lifestyle. That's it, right?
No, there was a
Like,
lot of like intentional living intentionally or living consciously, for listen, when I was eating as poorly as I wasn't very in touch with my body because it
right,
it took a long time before when I'd eat garbage food, I would feel awful, right? And there
right,
just comes a point where like I don't want to feel like that. Like it doesn't actually whatever joy it gives me in the moment, it doesn't last. It's not real. And then I feel awful for so much longer, whether it's guilt or actually physically not great. That food is not doing anything for me. So I don't eat like that anymore. But that didn't happen overnight. That took a while. And there was a lot of trial and error.
Mhm. Yeah, that's what it is. And that's why the long game, right? Thinking about that as just, okay, this is my new lifestyle, and I
Yeah.
have to, and I'm going to enjoy it as I go through and learn and figure things out. But that's why it's important to have a trainer, someone who can guide you through at least the beginning, who understands, and that way it gives you, you know, at least a better platform, right? Like, you now, okay, I'm jumping into it, but at least I'm jumping into it with, things that I'm going to need to keep me sustained through my journey. And there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be times where you fail, but you just have to get back up and continue on the journey, right? You know that there's not, and finding a place where you can get that support is going to be key, because most of the times the people around you and close to you are not going to really support you. Your friends aren't going to really support you that much. Like for me, I don't drink, but back in the day, I used to drink. I was like the life of the party. It'd be like, I make sure everyone's, yeah, let's make sure everyone's happy and great and whatever. And when I stopped drinking, just because I knew what it was doing to my body, I remember that it took a while for the people around me to accept that, right? So, hey, have a beer, have a drink, oh, whatever. I'm like, no, I don't drink. No, I'm okay. No, I'm okay. No, I'm okay. So you have to say no a lot, right? Which is fine. But the more you do that, then now, if I go to a party, if I go to our family thing, they're always like, "Oh, okay, your water's here." Like, specifically, my cousin Devon's like, "Oh yeah, I got your water over here, Funk." Or Aaron's always like, "Oh, we got your case of water over here." Like, it's just, they know. And also with my mother-in-law, she used to make cakes for my birthday all the time, and I'm telling her, no, listen, I'm not going to eat it. 100% I'm not going to eat it. Don't make it. I understand. And so it took a while. It took 4 or 5 birthdays before now it's like, okay, no worries. Like, I'm not going to have it. But you have to know how to say no to the
Yeah.
people around you at first. Don't get defensive, because I understood. I'm like, okay, she's so used to me doing that. If people are used to seeing you doing certain things, or you've said a million times that you're going to do one thing and you end up not doing it, you can't expect the people around you to support you right away. Like, the
Yeah.
proof is in the pudding. But after a while, believe me, they'll understand that it's like, oh, okay, no, this is water guy, man. He just drinks water all the time. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But it might require a conversation too. Like if you and your wife
Yes.
lay in bed every single night and eat Oreos and a pint of ice cream, and then you wake up one day and you're like, I'm changing everything. And you get into bed that night and she's got the Oreos and the ice cream. And she's
Yeah.
like, well, here's your portion. It might take a minute of like, hey, I'm doing something else. And I
Yeah.
actually should have told you, or like, we got to have this conversation at some point because that makes it harder for me.
Yeah.
I still have feelings for those cookies and ice cream, and I haven't quite gotten them out of my system yet. So give me a break for a minute.
The boundaries, man. You got to set the boundaries. And that's what it is. It's like, when if you're after work, you guys want to go out for some beers or whatever, and you're in that portion of your life now where you're not drinking, you're focusing on your health. They want to go for beers and wings. And you think, okay, well, I do love hanging out with these guys, man. I really do, right? Because of the social part of it. It's not for them, maybe it's the beers and the wings, but for you, it's now you don't have the beers and wings, but you still want to hang out with these guys. You just have to set the expectations of, hey, I'll come, but I'm going to leave early. I'm not having beers. I'm not having wings, but I want to hang out with you guys, right?
Yeah.
Sure. But, and of course, when you get there and they start drinking, come on, have one. Come on, have one. Guys, remember, I told you, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. But the more you do that, the more respect people are going to have for you. Actually, they'll be like, man, that guy, he's stuck to his word. And then also, they're going to understand that you're actually going there for the camaraderie and not for the beers and wings. They can do it, and I don't judge. You guys get trash. Do whatever you want. If you need me to drive you home, I'll drive you home. I'll take care of you guys. No worries, because I like the hangout, but I don't need that stuff, right? And I'm not judging you. You do what you do. I'm just, you know what I mean? So those conversations will happen once you start your new healthy lifestyle, and the people around you aren't on that journey, which is why it's probably good to get a group of people that you know are on the same journey, so you have people to keep you accountable and that sort of thing as well.
Yeah, or at the very least, who are supportive of what you're doing. That's really important. Yeah, I don't drink either, and there was a large period of time where my wife didn't keep alcohol in the house, many years, and now there's alcohol in the house. It doesn't bother me at all. But she drinks. I mean, she's not a lush or anything. She has maybe 2 glasses of wine per week, and she drinks in a way that I never could. She'll pour herself a glass of wine, drink half of it, dump the other half in the sink, and every time she does that, I don't understand what's happening. I don't understand putting the cork back in the bottle. Like that bottle to me is a beverage. You finish the beverage.
That's gone. Yeah. You know, bottle's gone, the case is gone. You know, the keg's gone. Like, hey, we got to train this keg, guys. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't even totally understand kind of keeping it in the house, because when I drank, you bought it and you drank it and then you had to go buy more. There's no like, what, we're storing wine now? What are we, like wine people? It's crazy. Awesome. Funk, your program sounds awesome. You're awesome. I'm so glad we got to talk. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, man. I love it. I love your movies. I love everything you're doing. You know, I saw you on Joe Rogan a few years back, and I'm like, man, I remember Butterfly Effect. He was my favorite guy. I love this guy. This is amazing. Your transformation was amazing. And I've been following you for a while. Just started to watch Manadrone. So I'm watching.
Oh, awesome. That's awesome.
And so I really appreciate you having me on. And man, and I'll love to do this again sometime.
Hell yeah. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, brother.